बिंदु दिया। आप भी करताल बजाइए। ओके। गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे त्रिना पे खाती दिया करो ए दासे त्रिना पे खाती। गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे त्रिना पे खाती ना। सकल सहने बल दिया करो निज माने स्पृहाहीना। सकल सहने बल दिया करो निज माने स्पृहाहीना। सकले सम्मान करिते शकति देहनाथ जथा जथा। तवे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे अपराधे हावे हता। तवे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे अपराधे हावे हता। कवे है नो कृपा लभिया ए जन कृतार्थ होए वे नाथ। कवे है नो कृपा लभिया ए जन कृतार्थ होइबे नाथ। शक्ति बुद्धिहीन आमी अति दीन कर मोरे आत्मसाथा। शक्ति बुद्धिहीना मैं आते देना करो मोरे आत्मसाथा। योग्यता विचारे किछु नहीं पाए तुम्हारा करुणा सारा। योग्यता विचारे किछु नहीं पाए तुम्हारा करुणा सारा। करुणा न होइले कांदिया कांदिया प्राण न राखी वो आरा। करुणा न होइले कांदिया कांदिया प्राण न राखी वो आरा। गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे तृणापेक्षा अतिहीना। सकल सहने बल दिया करो निज माने स्पृहहीना। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस रोजकाचार्य श्रोतर श्री श्रीमद श्रीमद के सभे चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। विष्णुपाद परमहंस रोजकाचार्य श्रोतर श्री श्रीमद श्रीमद के भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की, हिज होलीनेस गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज की, हिज होलीनेस गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज तिरुवा महामहोत्सव की, ताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। So we'll read the translation. Gurudev, by a drop of mercy, make this servant of yours more humble than a blade of grass. Give me the strength to bear all trials, troubles, and free me from all desire for personal honor.
I offer you all respects, for thus I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease.
When will such mercy fall to this one who is weak and devoid of intelligence? Allow me to be with you.
If you examine me, you will find no qualities. Your mercy is all that I am made up of. If you are not merciful unto me, I can only weep, and I will not be able to maintain my life.
श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय, श्री वैष्णव आचार्य की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। So we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, chapter number 8 and text number 19. Since 19 doesn't have purport, so we will just read 19 and then we will discuss on text number 20. So I'll just read 19th verse. Tattvanam parisankhyanam lakshanam hetu lakshanam purusharadhana vidhir yogasya cha. Translation. Kindly explain all about the elementary principles of creation, the number of such elementary principles, their causes and their development, and also the process of devotional service and the method of mystic powers. Now text number 20 we all can recite together. Yogeswareswarya gatir Lingabhangastu yoginam Vedo upaveda dharmanam Itihasa puranayo Yogeswareswarya gatir Lingabhangastu yoginam Vedo upaveta dharmana Itihasa puranayo Yogeswareswarya gatir Lingabhangasta yoginam Vedo upaveta dharmana Itihasa puranayo Matajis? Word to word meaning? Yogeswara of the master of the mystic powers. Aishwarya, opulence. Gatihi, advancement. Linga, astral body. Bhangaha, detachment. Tu, but. Yogina, of the mystics. Veda, transcendental knowledge. Upaveda, knowledge in persons of the Veda indirectly. Dharmana, of the religiosities. Itihasa, history. Puranayo, of the Puranas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. What are the opulences of the great mystics and what is their ultimate realization? How does the perfect mystic become detached from the subtle astral body? What is the basic knowledge of the Vedic literatures, including the branches of history and the supplementary Puranas? Please repeat after me. What are the opulence of the great mystics? And what is their ultimate realization? How does a perfect mystic become detached from subtle astral body? What is the basic knowledge of the Vedic literatures, including the branches of history and the supplementary Puranas? The Yogeshwara, or the master of the mystic powers, can exhibit 8 kinds of wonders of perfection by becoming smaller than the atom or lighter than a feather. getting anything and everything he desires, going anywhere and everywhere he likes, creating even a planet in the sky, etc. There are many Yogeshwaras having different proficiencies in these wonderful powers. And the topmost of all of them is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the greatest yogi, and he can perform such wonderful things far beyond the ordinary living beings. The devotees of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, do not directly practice the process of mystic powers. But by the grace of the Lord, his devotee can defeat even a great Yogeshwara like Durvasa Muni, who picked a quarrel with Maharaj Ambarish and wanted to show the wonderful achievements of his mystic powers. Maharaj Ambarish was a pure devotee of the Lord, and thus, without any effort on his part, the devotee saved him from the wrath of Yogeshwara, Durvasa Muni, and the latter was obliged to beg pardon from the king. Similarly, at the time of Draupadi's precarious position, when she was attacked by the Kurus who wanted to see her naked in the open assembly of the royal order, the Lord saved her from being stripped by supplying an unlimited length of sari to cover her. And Draupadi knew nothing of mystic powers. Therefore, the devotees are also Yogeshwaras by the unlimited power of the Lord. Just as a child is powerful by the strength of the parents, they do not try to protect themselves by any artificial means, but are saved by the mercy of the parents. Maharaja Pariksit inquired from the learned Brahmana Sukadeva Goswami about the ultimate destination of such great mystics, or how they attain such extraordinary powers by their own efforts or by the grace of the Lord. He inquired also about the detachment from the subtle and gross material bodies. He inquired also about the purpose of the Vedic knowledge, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 15:15. The whole purport of all the Vedas is to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become a transcendental living servant of the Lord. Om Jnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guraha Shri Yuta Padakamilam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Vasavhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Nama Madhuryo Jwala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Sakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gauri Kisoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambar Sambhode Padambujayate Nama Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanande Namine Gaura Sakti Swarupaye Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virvava Bhume Swam Nirdesta Sajjan Priya Vaisnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauritise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Jaitam Surtau Pangur Mama Manda Matergati Mat Sarvasva Padam Vojau Radha Madan Mohano Devyad Vindaranya Kalpadramadaha Śrīmad Ratnagara Simhasanisto Śrīmad Radha Śrīla Govinda Devo Preshtalabhise Vimano Smarami Śrīman Rasarasaram Vivam Sivatitata Estita Karsan Venur Suner Gopir Gopinata Sri Suna Tapte Kanchani Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pradamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So on such an auspicious day, some senior Vaishnavas would have given the class, would be nice, but somehow you have to tolerate me. So please, I am seeking a blessing so that I can glorify Bhagavatam, Book Bhagavata and Bhakta Bhagavat. Today is a Disciplinary Day of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. So we are reading this context where, of course, all of you know this. We are reading from a couple of days that how Pariksit Maharaj is asking a lot of questions to Sukadeva Goswami, and in these two verses he is asking about Tattvanam Parisankhyanam. Tattva means we know there are 24 elements. So Parisankhyanam matlab he is asking their number. What are the 24 elements? Then Lakshanam Hetu Lakshanam. Lakshanam means what is their symptom, and Hetu Lakshanam means what is the like they are Hetu for someone, like they are the cause of something. So what is their Lakshana? What is their symptom? Purusha Aradhana Vidhir. What is the devotion Purusha Aradhana Vidhir? So please tell me the process of devotional service. Yogasya Adhyatmikasya cha. So tell me the process of yoga which leads us to practice of devotional service. So this is what Pariksit Maharaj is asking in this particular text. And the next text he is asking Yogeshwara Aishwarya Gatir. So he is asking those who are yogis, what is their Aishwarya, what is their opulence, Aishwarya. And the next is Gatir, what is their destination, what is their Gati. Linga Bhangas to Yoginam. So when Linga Bhangas means, so when we die, then we leave our gross body. But when we practice Krishna consciousness, then we will leave our subtle body. So this Linga Bhangas means subtle body. So how can we leave our subtle body? Veda Upaveda Dharmanam. So what is the Dharma? What is there written in the Veda and Upaveda? So Veda means we know there are 4 Vedas, and Upaveda means like Ayurveda, like all these, which are the supplementaries of Vedic literature, which are coming from the Vedic literature only. So what is written in Veda and Upaveda, and Itihasa and Puranayo. So what is the knowledge which is written in this Vedic literature? So this is what Pariksit Maharaj is asking the question to Sukadeva Goswami. And then Prabhupada writes very wonderfully that that those who are yogis, they can definitely show a lot of mystic powers. And then Prabhupada explains Adima, Lagma, Prapti, Prakyam, all these siddhis they can definitely show. But then Prabhupada very much emphasize on the what a devotee has. A devotee, even though he may not possess all these mystic powers, but he can even defeat by the practice of Krishna consciousness, he can even defeat the greatest of the yogis. And then Prabhupada gives example of, anybody remembers? Prabhupada gives example of Ambarish Maharaj. So however, Durvasa Muni was such a great mystic, but then Ambarish Maharaj was not having so many, he was a grhastha however. Shri Shri Radha Madhav Bhagwan ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So Ambarish Maharaj was not so much great mystic, but he was a devotee. But he could defeat Durvasa Muni. And then Prabhupada explains that how does it happen? Prabhupada gives, anybody remembers what Prabhupada gives analogy from in the purport? Child. Just like child is protected by the parents. He doesn't care whatever he doesn't have any strength, but he is protected by the protection of their parents. So similarly, devotees may not have so much mystic powers or any strength, but they are protected by the great strength of the Lord. And we can see a lot of examples in the Sastras and even in the life of Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada, like many times, although it is said that great devotees don't show their mystic power, they have it, but they don't want to show it off. Why? Because if they show it, then people will come, people will gather around. Please show us chamatkar ko namaskar. So people will come not for devotional practice, not for advancing in Krishna consciousness, but for some mystics. मेरे लड़के को ये आशीर्वाद दे दो, जॉब लग जाए, मेरे लड़का को कैंसर हो रहा है, उसको ठीक कर दो. So lot of people will come like that. That is why generally devotees, they don't show all these mystic powers. Just like we know, and for that matter, they are even ready to live in very poverty-stricken stages. Like we know Gaur Kusurdas Babaji Maharaj. He used to, when he used to stay, he used to actually spread the flesh around him. so that these kind of people, they don't come near him. And sometimes he used to even go in the latrine, so that such kind of people who are searching for some material kind of blessings, they don't come to him. Similarly, in the life of Srila Prabhupada also, we see lot of things. He doesn't want to sow, but still, Lord is much more eager to glorify his devotees. So sometimes it was even seen by the devotees that sometimes Srila Prabhupada did sow some mystic powers. Like one time, His Grace Bhavanand Prabhu mentions that one time Bhavanand Prabhu was taking Prabhupada to they were coming in the airport, so there was different kind of barricading there. So Bhavanand Prabhu thought that maybe Prabhupada may not know that how to cross this barricading. So I will help Prabhupada, taking from here, and then I will first go, I will open the car, and then I will make Prabhupada sit in the car. But then Bhavanand Prabhu mentions that somehow I went little back, I got little back, and then I saw that there is no Prabhupada. And I was searching here and there, where is Prabhupada? And later on I went down and Prabhupada is nicely sitting in the car. So, he couldn't even understand that how did it happen. Because he was thinking that Prabhupada may not know so much of Western kind of, technologies, but then Prabhupada is already sitting in the car. And we know that, Gargamuni Prabhu always mentions that he got dictaphone. So he wanted to show it to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, this is how you can operate it. This is how it operates. So he was thinking that I will teach Prabhupada, I will train Prabhupada that how to use it. But then we know that Prabhupada just, this, no need to train. Prabhupada just opened it and he started using it. Similarly, lot of pastimes like that. So one time, we know this famous pastime, right? That one time, they were in, I think, San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco. So there was the first storefront opened. And then there was Shyam Sundar Prabhu and Malti Mataji were there. So, and they were having a storefront and they had to definitely pay the month rent. So, because it was very earlier days of ISKCON, so not so much income and definitely fundraising and all these things was not there. So, they were sort of funds. So then this owner actually gave already a warning that if you don't pay the fund, if you don't pay the rent, then I'll make you back out of the house. And then devotees were really worried what to do. So to the surprise, so one time this Malti Mataji and Shyam Sundar Prabhu, they were coming out of their house to go for Mangal Aarti in the temple hall. And surprisingly, they saw that so many notes are flying in the air. And as they collected, it was the exact amount for which was actually needed for the paying the rent. And they paid the rent and they stayed back there. So this is how, devotees, when Srila Prabhupada disciples, they always say that it actually, we were not just seeing the miracles, but we were actually living with the miracles. They used to say like that. So like lot of pastimes happened like that. One time, all of you know all these pastimes, however, but just to mention here that how Srila Prabhupada also possessed so much mystic powers. So one time Srila Prabhupada was there in his room, and Brahmanand Prabhu says that whenever I used to go to Prabhupada, I was always so excited to meet, because there is something new I'm going to see today. And then Brahmanand Prabhu was going to Srila Prabhupada's room, and then Prabhupada's room was locked. And then, and there was a lot of sound coming from the Prabhupada's room. So he started seeing from the slits. We know slits. Slits means there is a little gap between the doors. So he started seeing from the slits what is happening inside. And then he saw that there is a lot of effulgence coming from the room, and a lot of sound is also there. And then after some time, he waited at the room, and then after some time, Prabhupada opened the door. And then he asked Prabhupada, what was that? There was a lot of sound and a lot of effulgence was coming out of her room. And then Prabhupada says, oh that, so much casually Prabhupada said, oh that, I was actually wrestling with Balram. So these are some of the mystic powers which but he was playing with Balram, because that was his occupational position. He was a friend of Krishna, right? So he was wrestling with Balram. One time, I think it was, I'm not sure whether it was in Hyderabad or somewhere, but His Holiness Mahamsa Swami mentions this, that one time he was in the room of Prabhupada, and then, because he was with Prabhupada, he was kind of servant of Prabhupada, so then he was cleaning Prabhupada's room. And we know that Prabhupada always used to carry his datun, because Prabhupada liked to brush his teeth with the datun. So there were a lot of datuns in the room of Prabhupada, so he was actually cleaning the room. So meanwhile, Prabhupada went outside of the room and he was in balcony he was standing. And to the surprise of Mahamsa Swami, that actually this Srila Prabhupada was laughing, so much loudly laughing and talking so loudly, raising his and spreading his hands like that. And Mahamsa Swami went there and there is no one. No one is there. So whom was Prabhupada talking with? Whom was Prabhupada laughing with? It was Krishna. So, however, devotees want to hide their own glories, the devotees want to hide their own powers, whatever they have, but Krishna want to show in front of everybody that devotees have mystic powers. Similarly, we know this, right? That Mr. Nair was so strong, such a strong man. He was about to demolish the temple in Juhu, but then Srila Prabhupada he could have done it also, but then we know that the day before he got heart attack, and then Prabhupada got the news, and what Prabhupada says, thank you Krishna. So Prabhupada was having, and he was having only his Western disciples. Western disciples doesn't know how to deal with the Indian cheaters. But then, so to speak, so Prabhupada was not having so much strength to really fight with Nair. But he was personally protected by Krishna, and Krishna protected him. And then that's how we know that Mr. Nair got heart attack at the night. So that way we can understand that devotees may not have may not possess mystic power, but they are personally protected by the protection of Krishna. So we may not need, so sometimes some devotees ask this question, Prabhuji, if I have some mystic powers then I can preach so much. It will be like, we can preach to more extent. One devotee was asking in one class. So we don't need such mystic powers. We don't need such things, because we have to have complete faith under the protection of Krishna. Whatever Krishna wants, he will give it. So it's not that if we have mystic powers, then only we can do lot of prachar. It's not that way. A lot of people are there who are yogis, and they possess such mystic powers, but what are they doing? So similarly, if we also get some mystic powers, what will happen? We may leave Krishna consciousness only. We may try to show some miracles and get some name and fame, and then I am the God, like that it can happen. So that is why we should not have desire to possess such mystic powers, but rather than that, we should become the servant of who has mystic power. Krishna yatra yogeshwara Krishna yatra partho dhanurdhara. If we become the servant of one who has all the mystic power, then he will show mystic power for us whenever it is needed. So with this, I will just end this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam discussion, and then we'll discuss something about today is the Disciplinary Day of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. So we'll discuss something about Maharaj. However, this is all from either from Maharaj's senior disciples or Maharaj's god brothers. So we will just discuss something about his qualities. So in one word, if we want to glorify Maharaj, what can you say about Maharaj in one word? Yes, so he is Prabhupada's man. So if we just like Prabhupada used to say, if he whenever he used to glorify his Guru Maharaj, that what can I say about my Guru Maharaj? My Guru Maharaj was a Vaikuntha man. So similarly, if we have to glorify His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, we can simply say that he was Prabhupada's man. He always stayed wherever Prabhupada wanted him. It was not like for him, it was not, oh, this is not my zone, that is my zone, this is where I'm preaching, I'm GVC here, I'm not GVC there. It was never in mind of Maharaj. Maharaj, wherever needed, Maharaj went there. Like when we were in Vrindavan, so Dayaram Prabhu was mentioning that it was so much litigation were there in those days, and in Mayapur zone. So of course Maharaj was not GVC there in those days, but then Maharaj personally came and he made sure that everything is resolved. So similarly in Hyderabad also a few years back. So however, it was not Maharaj own, but Maharaj thought ISKCON is Prabhupada's and Prabhupada is mine. I love Prabhupada and Prabhupada love ISKCON. So I have to protect ISKCON. So it is not, हम जैसे कई बार सोच लेते हैं, हाँ मेरी सेवा नहीं है वो उस डिवोटी को बोल दो उसका सेवा है. This is what we think, but Maharaj was never like that. Whatever comes to protect ISKCON, whatever comes to protect Prabhupada's glory, he was always there. And then one time, so His Holiness Bhakti V.V. Govind Swami Maharaj was glorifying Maharaj. So he was telling that we can simply understand that how much he was Prabhupada's man. He was telling that Prabhupada appointed Maharaj as GVC, almost I think 1972 or 74, somewhere around. And then Maharaj remained GVC for the rest of his life. So many GVCs were there, they definitely resign after some time or in recent years also. once they thought that now we are old. But then Maharaj, till the end of his life, he remained GVC because Prabhupada appointed him. And then Maharaj was mentioning that if you really know that what a GVC mean, Maharaj was mentioning that it is actually living like in a hell. Because so much management, so many things are there. But Maharaj was never flickered from that position. He always was there to serve Prabhupada mission. So that was Maharaj's glory. And then Maharaj was mentioning he was mentioning that how much Maharaj accomplished in one lifetime, most of us cannot even accomplish in hundreds of lifetimes. That much he accomplished in just one lifetime. So he was in Maharaj's room in last days of Maharaj. So he was kind of glorifying Maharaj, that Maharaj, you did so much, you made almost 20 temples in Delhi and distributed millions and millions of books, inspired lot of disciples, and not only in Delhi, but then all over the world you made lot of temples. So and then you trained so many of his disciples that now your disciples are in the position to take up leadership position. So he was kind of glorifying Maharaj. And Maharaj was, of course, a pure Vaishnava is never happy when he is glorified. So Maharaj was having his head down. He was just, kind of when he will stop, like that. But then Maharaj raised his head and he said, there is one more accomplishment. And then Maharaj told that this year is going to be the 50 years of being a GVC. So Maharaj stayed for almost 50 years in GVC. And we know that, although Maharaj was almost, Maharaj in his 80s, but then he was always, in his old days also, he was so inspiring, he was not slowing down. His disciples, like what is his name? His Grace Dasavatar Prabhu, he mentions that they used to request Maharaj, please slow down, slow down. But Maharaj was not a man to slow down. Maharaj was always moving around. Just like we understand, how Srila Prabhupada was, that when he went to Amritsar, Prabhupada was having 8 meetings in a day. 8 meetings in a day when he went to Amritsar. So it is said that when Prabhupada went to one place, now his disciples were they are little slow. So now when they thought, okay, we will meet Prabhupada in a first meeting place. But as they went to the first meeting place, Prabhupada is already not there. So then they went to second place and Prabhupada is already, preparing to leave second place also. So like that, Prabhupada was untiringly, he was having, so fast, he was moving so fast in the sense that to preach the Krishna consciousness. So similarly, carrying the same consciousness, carrying the same message, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was also not slow. He was not slowing down even in the last days also. He was having so much vigor to preach Srila Prabhupada's mission. Like recently we went to Pune. So His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu was mentioning, His Grace Achyut Mohan Prabhu was mentioning that just in this context, how much they have vigor to preach Srila Prabhupada's mission. So Achyut Mohan Prabhu was mentioning that one time they were in Bangalore. So they were not doing kind of so much preaching because they were doing job in those days. So 2-3 devotees were there, which were personally trained by Radheshyam Prabhu. So then Radheshyam Prabhu came for one day there and then he was leaving the next day. So when Radheshyam Prabhu was leaving, so then he told Achyut Mohan Prabhu, I couldn't do any program for you, but next time when I will come, definitely I will do some program for your boys. And Achyut Mohan Prabhu was surprised that he says, Prabhuji, we don't have any such kind of preaching nowadays. So Radheshyam Prabhu was taken aback and then he was so surprised. He told, what? Then why are you breathing? Why are you breathing? And then Achyut Mohan Prabhu was so surprised. Why are you breathing means saans bhi nahi lena hai kya? So then Radheshyam Prabhu told, Prana hetu ar, se hetu prachar. If you have life, then you have to preach. So we see that such a legacy is coming, just like what Srila Prabhupada wanted, what his disciples want, and then same in second generation also we can see that this is what they always want to preach. If you are not preaching, then you don't have life. So similar, and Maharaj was such a particular in following all the Vaishnava etiquettes, very, very particular. It was not like, he is a small devotee, never like that. Maybe he may be so much busy, but he was very particular in receiving the guests, especially his god brothers. Whenever his god brothers used to come to his temple, like let's say they're happening to come to Delhi, he used to make sure personally that they get all the comforts. First, he used to go to receive them personally. Like I think, recently, 2-3 years back, we saw that Maharaj's health was not so good, but then His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj came, I think 1-2 years back video, And then Maharaj was paying obeisances, and then we saw that Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj's health was not so good. He was not in a position to pay obeisances, but he was very particular to follow the Vaishnava etiquette, that he was also paying obeisances. And then and then 2-3 years back, I think His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj visited Maharaj, and then again Maharaj's health was not good, but Maharaj definitely made sure that he went to receive Maharaj, and when Maharaj was leaving, then also he went to see of Maharaj. So that was, he was so particular in following the Vaishnava etiquettes. Sometimes we may think, "Arey, theek hai, it's okay, abhi receive kar liya, abhi chale jayenge apne aap." But Maharaj personally showed by his example that how a Vaishnava has to be received, and when he is going, how we have to follow the Vaishnava etiquette. To personally show all of us, his followers and disciples. Yeah, and then, so when Maharaj was, as I was mentioning about the preaching spirit of Maharaj, so Maharaj was such a vigor that, so one devotee was telling that when Maharaj was young, he used to be in 3 different cities in one day. So, like let's say he did Mangal Aarti in Radha Parth Sarthi, and then the afternoon class, Preeti Vardhanam class in Vrindavan, and then evening Bhagavad Gita class in Juhu. So like that, he was such a, now traveling is not so easy. Those who are traveling, we may not travel so much, but those who travel, then they should know that traveling is not so easy. But even with the traveling, Maharaj was having so much spirit. Wherever he went, he used to give lectures. And he was very particular about the purity or loyalty to the Guru Parampara. Like one time some disciples of Maharaj arranged some program in Mumbai. So that time was almost kind of Ganpati time. So his disciples, when he was in car, so he told Maharaj, if you could speak something about Ganpati also, it will be nice. Because to please donors. So but Maharaj told, I will only speak about Krishna. I cannot glorify Krishna. I cannot glorify other than Krishna and Prabhupada. I can only glorify Krishna. So he was so loyal, just to please someone he could not compromise his principles. Uncompromised principles he was having. And then he himself worked hard so much for Prabhupada, and he also wanted all of his disciples and followers of ISKCON to work hard for Prabhupada. Many times, like if he used to give some services to his disciples, and then if they forget, so Maharaj used to follow them up. Or did you do this service? And let's say if the disciple tells that Maharaj, I forgot. So that was a difficult time for that disciple, because Maharaj used to say, this was told by His Holiness Bhakti Anugrah Janardhan Swami Maharaj. So he was mentioning that one time Maharaj gave some service to Bhakti Anugrah Janardhan Swami Maharaj, and then he called, and then he couldn't do somehow. So Maharaj called Janardhan Maharaj that, did you do this service? And then he told Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, I forgot actually. And then Maharaj says, you are the laziest person I have ever met in my life. And like that, it did not just one by disciple. He used to tell, was like lot of disciples like that, you are the laziest person I have met ever in my life. So that's what Maharaj wanted, that we should not be lazy, we should be active, just like how Maharaj was. And of course, right from the earlier days of Maharaj was very sincere. It was not that, because they are Nitya Siddha. So very earlier days of ISKCON, Maharaj was very sincere. We know this. He went to Montreal temple, and that time temple president Mahapurush Prabhu, he gave the seva, that because Prabhupada was coming, he gave that seva to clean the Prabhupada's room. And Maharaj very sincerely, each and every nook and corner of that room, Maharaj made sure that everything is spack and span, everything is neat and clean. So, and then those devotees remembers, like I think, who was telling? Devi Sakti Mataji was telling that when she was in, I think, Montreal or somewhere, she was telling that, that she saw that Maharaj was paying obeisances to Prabhupada for longer time, because when he was reciting the mantra, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale, if there is any mistake, so he used to start reciting again. So he was making sure that he is pronouncing the Prabhupada mantra very properly. No mistake at all. So like that, he was almost paying obeisances for a very long time. And similarly, whatever photos and deities were there in the temple hall, he used to make sure that he used to pay obeisances to all the photos and deities. And we have seen it personally whenever we used to go to Juhu. So Maharaj used to make sure that all the dioramas, we have dioramas in Juhu, he used to pay obeisances to dioramas also. So like that. So one time, I think who was that? Yeah, one time his Grace Bhurijan Prabhu went to his room and he was glorifying Maharaj. That Maharaj, you accomplished so much, you did so much for Prabhupada, that Prabhupada will be so much pleased with you. So he will be so much pleased with you that he will definitely, I'll definitely pray to his lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada that he takes in his personal shelter. So then he was kind of so much glorifying Maharaj, and Maharaj started crying. Maharaj started weeping. So he was not taking any credit. He told, he cried, and then he told how merciful Srila Prabhupada was upon me. So he never took any credit, although he did lot of things, but he never took any credit. He just gave all the credit to Srila Prabhupada. So Radheshyam Prabhu was mentioning just when we went to Pune, he was mentioning that although Maharaj was so busy, he was so busy having, always more than 20 projects. Always he was having so many projects he was having always. But still, whenever you meet him, he was always like a very ordinary person, like he doesn't have anything now. Like he was having time for everybody. Just like if we have anything, any seva, so much urgent seva, let's say if we have one seva also, we become too busy to talk with the devotees. But Maharaj was having, although he was having lot of projects, so he was having lot of sevas, but still he was always having time to talk with the devotees. And then whenever he talked, just like he was talking in a way that he has so much time for them. So that was his amazing quality. And then the way he used to talk, he was giving time, but definitely there was so much transformation in the heart. Radheshyam Prabhu was mentioning that one time he came to Pune, all of you know this pastime of course. Maharaj came to Pune and there was one person who was sitting in the temple. So he used to come most of the days, but no devotee talked with him. Devotees don't used to talk with him. No devotee approached him. And then Maharaj came and Maharaj Maharaj was leaving, so this devotee came. He was not kind of ISKCON devotee, he was Sri Vaishnava. So then Maharaj asked him, are you doing well? And I kind of asked him, and then he was so impressed, and then we know that then he started continuing that I have a Balaji deity, that if your devotees can start worshipping Balaji. And then Maharaj made sure, he told Radheshyam Prabhu that you make sure that some of the devotees go to worship, and then they started worshipping, and then this person was so impressed that he did not only donated the Balaji deity, but he also gave the seed money for the NVCC temple. Not only seed land, but actually most of the funds he only gave for the NVCC temple. So how it happened? Just because of one touch of Maharaj. So Maharaj was having so much time to make sure that everybody is engaged in some seva. So a few days back, one devotee was telling me that in some moments, Maharaj made a person donated 12 CR. 12 CR in just few moments. So Maharaj was going somewhere, and then he was very rich person. So he was asking, what can I do? And then Maharaj asked his assistant. No, actually Maharaj was mentioning about TOVP in Mayapur. So he was telling, what can I do for you? So Maharaj asked, Maharaj asked his servant, what do we need in Mayapur? So MRI, it was MRI machine? MRI machine. So okay, how much for it? 6.5 CR, something like that. And immediately he donated. And then he asked, what else can I do for you? And then what else? What else was it? Yeah, solar panel for Mayapur. And then immediately he donated 5.5 CR also. So immediately on the spot he donated 12 CR. So Maharaj was not just book distributor or anything, but he was in everywhere, every part of activity, whatever needed for Srila Prabhupada he was doing. Yeah, so one time, and then we saw the very good quality, one very amazing qualities of Maharaj, that however the devotees may do lot of havoc or devotees may be doing lot of mistakes, but he was always very accommodative. He made sure that no devotee should leave ISKCON. And he might have changed their seva, but they should never leave ISKCON. He made sure. So one time, just like we see even in the Even this was Srila Prabhupada also represented the same quality. So one time, one temple president came to Srila Prabhupada and he told, Prabhupada, this devotee he does nothing and he's just useless, he just eat and sleep. We cannot keep him in ISKCON. We are just tell him to go to ISKCON. And he's very fallen. Prabhupada, he's very fallen, he's very sinful, we cannot keep him. And then what Prabhupada told? Our movement is only for the fallen people. So same thing even Maharaj was also depicting, it's not that our movement is, who was telling few days back to one devotee was telling that our movement is not meant for the demigods. Don't expect that demigods will come here and they will stay. Only fallen people are coming, they will show their qualities. So what is wrong in it? So it's not that we expect so many good qualities, people will represent, people will show. So if somebody is showing some bad qualities, that is how it should be. Because our movement is meant for the fallen people only. And that's how we see that Maharaj was always very accommodative, always very accommodative. Whenever it comes to, somebody is not following principles, then he used to, services properly, then he used to change their seva. One time when one devotee came, and then he was kind of, blaspheming criticizing another devotee, that Maharaj, he is not following four regulative principles. Then Maharaj asked, see the positive attitude, that Maharaj asked this person, that is he chanting 16 rounds? Okay, yes, Maharaj. So that's it. If he chanting 60 rounds, then what else is there? So of course, we have to follow four regulative principles, but Maharaj even saw that one good quality. What is that good quality? That he chanting 16 rounds. So Maharaj never wanted to criticize any devotee. So Devikinandan Prabhu was mentioning in Vrindavan that Maharaj never did any Vaishnava Aparadh in his life. Never ever did any Vaishnava Aparadh. So I think, it was in 1980s somewhere. So their misunderstanding was there somehow, as management goes. So there was some misunderstanding, and the management of Vrindavan authority, they actually made Maharaj luggage outside of the temple, and they made Maharaj to leave the temple. But still Maharaj was so tolerant, he took out his luggage and he went to Radha Damodar temple to stay in. And then later on misunderstanding was resolved, and then Maharaj came in. He never spoke any word. So that was the tolerance of Maharaj. Another time, there was one life member came in ISKCON Vrindavan. I think most of you know this pastime. So one life member came in ISKCON Vrindavan, and we know that life member expect what they expect. We should get some accommodation in the temple. So, but we know that ISKCON Vrindavan, lot of people are coming. How can they give everybody accommodation? So there was no possibility of getting accommodation. He didn't get it. So then he became so angry that you people, when you make life members, you promise that we will give you accommodation, but now you guys are cheating, you're not giving. He was kind of so much blaspheming, so much criticizing ISKCON devotees. And so somehow Maharaj came to know. Maharaj was not there, Maharaj was staying somewhere else in Vrindavan only. So Maharaj came to know that so and so guest, life member has come, and he has become so angry because of we have not received him well. So Maharaj personally came to that life member. Now he was not so rich, he was not giving crores of rupees. Not like that. And not a devotee who is practicing Krishna consciousness for many years. But he was just an ordinary life member. And then Maharaj personally came to him and knocked on his door. And then Maharaj paid Dandavat Pranam to that person, life member. And as soon as this life member saw this, he started crying. He started shedding tears in his eyes. That Maharaj, you personally came for me. It was not needed. So that was something very amazing qualities of Maharaj. He is a good, very small devotee, a big devotee, doesn't matter. But it should not hamper the glory of ISKCON and glory of Prabhupada. ISKCON image should not be hampered. He was always making sure. So I'll just read the last 10 instructions because today is the Disciplinary Day of Maharaj. So I'll just read the last 10 instruction which Maharaj gave, so that we all can again remember whatever he always wanted from his disciples. There is a bill also, but it will take a little time, but I'll just read the last 10 instructions. Yeah. First, always accept his divine grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness as a preeminent Siksha Guru for all the time. This is first. Second, always accept ISKCON's governing body commission as the ultimate management authority of ISKCON and as Srila Prabhupada's representative, and to therefore follow its instructions and directions. So he was always wanting his disciples to follow GBC. Third, lead your life so as to be exemplary representative of ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada. Fourth, cooperate together with all other ISKCON devotees to push this movement forward. Fifth, when some of you advance sufficiently to become gurus and sannyasis, to work under the GBC authorized process to take up those services. Sixth, never leave ISKCON. First and foremost, think of yourself as member of ISKCON. Never fight with ISKCON. Resolve your differences internally in a Vaishnava way. Nowadays there are devotees, they make videos and post on the YouTube. If anything goes wrong. But what Maharaj is saying, resolve it internally. Never align yourself with persons or groups not authorized by the GBC. Eighth, seriously study Srila Prabhupada's books on a regular basis. Always chant at least 16 attentive rounds every day. Chant at least 25 rounds on Ekadasis and special festival days, and strictly follow the 4 regulatory principles of no meat eating, no intoxicants, no gambling, and no illicit sex. So Maharaj is 16 rounds of attentive chanting. But ninth, work to make ISKCON a dynamic society. And 10th, continue donating your time and resources to the ISKCON's causes. So this is what Maharaj wants from all. It's not only with his disciples, but Maharaj has given instructions to all the ISKCON followers. This is what Maharaj wants. So last which I will tell about the glories of Maharaj, that he was having always uncompromising sadhana. Always. All of us could see that no, wherever Maharaj was, irrespective of at what time he's sleeping, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, but he was always there in the altar at 4:30. So I think, Bhurijan Prabhu was mentioning that and Maharaj was so much having love for Krishna Balaram especially, whenever he used to go for bird preaching, let's say if he's going to Russia or anywhere in the US, so he used to make sure that he first come to Krishna Balaram, and definitely he used to make sure that he does Mangal Arati for Krishna Balaram. So he had so much love for Krishna Balaram. And similarly, and he was having strong faith in holy name. So whenever his disciples or anyone used to go to Maharaj to ask so many problems, then what was the standard answer of Maharaj? Chant attentively. If you chant attentively, then all your problems will be solved. So this was the standard answer of Maharaj. So many answers Maharaj gave in this way: chant attentively. So Radhika Kripa Mataji was mentioning when we went to Maharaj Glorification Day. I have already told it once, but then again I will tell, because since Maharaj Disappearance Day. So one time she did not attend Guru Puja. And then Maharaj called her that, why were you absent in Guru Puja? So she told something. So then Maharaj told, no, you should attend the entire morning program. And then Maharaj gave percentage wise weightage also for all the morning program. Personally he told that, Maharaj told that 20% is for Mangal Arati. And then 10% for Guru Puja, and 30% for Bhagavatam class, and 40% for chanting. So you see that 40 plus 30, 70% is for hearing and chanting. And of course, but each limb is important. It's not that, sometimes I think, we may think, Guru Puja is not so important, it's okay if I skip it. But Maharaj is personally telling that no, every limb of morning program is important. Whether it is Guru Puja, whether it is Mangal Arati or chanting, we may think, I will chant in my room. We may think like that. No, but Maharaj is telling that you should be in temple hall and chant with the devotees. So every limb of morning program is important. So on this Disappearance Day of Guru Maharaj, we can definitely pray to the lotus feet of Maharaj that whatever uncompromised sadhana he had, and whatever he expected from his followers, or whatever he wants all of us to be also Prabhupada's men. So let us pray to the lotus feet of Maharaj that we also get some qualities by which we can also be called. It will be very difficult to call as Prabhupada's man, but to one day, at least we can be called as Prabhupada's man, what Maharaj was. Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai. श्री गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज श्री महामहोत्सव की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की।